He wrote and directed this, but this was good about the next generation. The fans are pissed off about Discovery. They're gonna say that whole thing. That whole thing is that it was an experiment and the ship got lost.
Good.
And that's why it's not part of the canon no more.
Nice.
Fans, yeah.
Oh.
And then Michelle Yeoh's gonna have her own spin-off.
I thought they killed her off.
She's coming back. She went into a different timeline with the Mirror Universe or some
She
shit like that. They just ruined that whole Discovery thing.
Well, they can't come up with anything good anymore. The last good thing I think they had was Deep Space Nine, and the only reason why that was any good is because it was a ripoff of Babylon 5.
Basically.
And everybody knows it. Nice. Does it make that much noise?
Yeah, it's annoying.
Oh, I'm sorry. But which is more annoying, me speaking or me eating popcorn?
Eat the popcorn. I'll do the talking.
Okay.
You did 5 months of talking. I think
say just kick him out.
No, it'd be funny just having me here and they were like, is he going to say anything? Nope.
How much? You guys always do it together?
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 30 years. He joined me about 3-4 years ago.
30 years.
30 years this past summer.
Yeah, you got a trophy for it.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
For doing it 30 years. I think they gave a trophy to anybody who did it more than 25 years, their show.
Yeah, there's about me and maybe like 10 other guys who've been doing it that long. With the last
Same format?
No, different shows. People have been doing different shows for more than 25 years.
Yeah, I mean, the way I've been doing it is, it's the first 2 years. It was I was going to conventions before Comic-Con became Comic-Con, and I used to go to a Icon convention. I went there around Christmas time, and I just filmed a lot of footage. I spread that out across for 6 months, and then I went to another convention that was over across the street from Madison Square Garden. I interviewed people from DS9 and Babylon 5, the guy from Lost in Space. I did that, and then I did the things like they have festivals. I did some of that. Then I realized, editing, spending a lot of time in editing and on tapes and everything, and. It was 2 times. And I asked one of the guys, what's the easiest way for me to produce a show? Go live. Boom. Settle. Done. Hi, everybody. And I was supposed to produce it. A woman's supposed to do the show. They said, I want to be on camera. You're not photogenic, Frank. And you don't have a good speaking voice. I'll do the show. Just before the show went on, she got stage fright. Hi, everybody. I'm Frankie V. Thank you for watching. And we're going to be talking movies. And I've been doing that for 30 years. The original format was I used to take phone calls. And I built a good old following. But then it was like a small express studio. It was just me. I used to run the lights, like basically everything there, but underneath the board while doing the show. So I'm doing all this here, volume, boom. I had a second camera where I used to show pictures and magazines and stuff like that.
Cool.
And then I used to switch the cameras. Oh, okay, let me show you another article over here from this magazine, da-da, like that. And then I used to take phone calls. And then they built these 2 studios and they got rid of the whole phone call thing. So starting in January, I think I'm going to go to the phone calls and see if we can take phone calls. The problem I heard with that is that...
You have a following?
Yeah, for a long time. We lost a lot of the following when I stopped taking the phone calls, though. A lot of people go, oh, Ray, you still on? Most of the people that bump into me about the neighborhood, you still on? I say, yeah.
But you have social media and all that?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I really don't push it. To be honest with you, I'm getting tired of this because, like, today, it's like I haven't been here for 5 months. What did I miss? Nothing. Prequels, sequels, reboots. Bullshit, yeah. And it's been like that for the past 2 years.
Yeah, but that's most
45 seconds.
Yeah, but that's most of stuff out there. People make money off of doing stuff like that.
45 seconds.
Right? Do you think the news has anything to say?
I'm gonna watch you.
30 seconds, guy.
Oh, and start recording.
Yeah, he started.
Oh, that's on.
I'll turn on the audio. Okay? So you can just worry about this. I'll just bring on the audio when he's singing.
Oh, okay. 5 seconds.
Well. Hello, everybody. I'm back. I'd like to thank Mark over here for helping me basically cover the show for the past 5-6 months here. I had some family business outside of the state, so here I'm back. And a couple of announcements as usual. And we're going to go into basically the best and worst of the year so far because the holidays are coming right around the corner. So, real quick, people were wondering what happened to the blog. The blog's been there, believe it or not. But what I'm doing with the blog, instead of being a weekly format, it's basically twice a month. Okay, and so I try to wrap up and review a lot of movies and try to catch up with all the news within the 2-week period. Okay, I'm also on Pinterest and Instagram. All you gotta do is just go to Google, put Videoland Express, all that stuff comes right on up. And adding to that is the Godzilla community. Now, Google did a little snafu there, saying that they're not gonna do the Godzilla community and basically Google Plus anymore. They were trying to compete against Facebook. So basically what happened with that was they're going to end Google Plus. It's like their version of Facebook. It wasn't a success. They're going to knock it off, but that's going to affect all these communities that have their Star Wars community, a James Bond community, believe it or not, a movie community, music communities, a lot of them. And my community, Godzilla community. They're going to say they're going to end it by next summer when the Godzilla movie comes out. I want to thank everybody on the Godzilla community for putting artwork, original things there, a lot of polls and stuff like that. But anyway, it's still going to continue to August. So maybe you want to stop by and take a look. Just Google it. The other announcement is we got 3 more shows now that I'm back. And we yesterday, I just found out we got renewed again. So we're going to be, believe it or not, another 6 months. So we're going to go right into the new year. I should be here January and February where we cover like the final best and worst. I'm going to spread this between the next 3-4 shows, okay? Because I'm going to give my take on the box office and a couple shout outs, okay? First, we all know I refuse to put Fantastic Beasts behind me. Okay, the last movie sucked. We refused to see it. Sorry, Harry Potter fans. Basically, Stan Lee passed away. I figured, okay, Ventures goes right back up again. Fantastic Beasts was directed by David Yates. Not one of my favorite directors. Nothing personal. Now I probably won't get hired by him. But anyway, he did the last 2 Harry Potter movies, and then he directed the last one, Fantastic Beasts. The last Fantastic Beasts movie, should I say? Anyway, and I didn't like it. He's the wrong director to do a Harry Potter franchise. It's slow, boring. That's what I thought of Fantastic Beasts. And Johnny Depp looks just so sad. Like he got the news that he's not going to do Pirates of the Caribbean anymore. They're going to reboot that. That's what Disney is doing. Disney is taking a lot of these older projects and they rebooting them. They don't want to pay these guys no more. And so there's going to be a lot of turmoil what's going to happen at Fox. There's a rumor is that they're going to have an independent label, and this is what Disney did before. They had a Touchstone label. They had some other labels that show more adult movies. So they're planning to do something like that where they can show a lot of Marvel stuff that people are going to say what's going to happen to Deadpool. Where's the rated R version of Venom? What's going to happen with Punisher and all the shows on Netflix and everything like that? Disney is not stupid. They paid for that whole conglomeration and taking Fox property because they're going to branch out, and you'll probably see the Disney label in the corner somewhere really small where it says the new Fox label or something like that. So there's a way of working around that. Let me tell you, there's too much money to be to be handled. So with that being said, for example, talking about reboots, they're going to do Supergirl, and they picked John Cryer. Remember him? Doopy from Pretty in Pink. Right, and John Cryer was also in that movie.
No, he was in the show, 2.5 Men.
Yeah, of course, the comedy. But he was also in a superhero movie, Superman #4 with Christopher Reeve. That's the one where he fights the sun god or something like that.
Oh, Pretty in Pink.
Right, he was in Pretty in Pink.
If people don't remember that, remember those movies, definitely people remember 2.5 Men.
Yeah. So he's going to play Lex Luthor in Supergirl.
I think at one point he was the second highest paid player on television, right after Charlie Sheen.
Yeah. I don't know why he needs the movie for, but they must be paying him
Money.
good money. Yeah, it all comes down to money.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Stanley passed away. I just mentioned John Cryer, Supergirl movie, another remake. Nobody's looking for it. I know I got beef from him just before the show because I said and I said this on my blog. You can go back to the blog, and I said, listen, there's 2 movies I'm looking forward to for the end of the year. Wreck-It Ralph #2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Mary Poppins. I thought that was a great trailer where she says, you're not supposed to ask a woman's age. What a great way to explain her disappearance 50 years. I said, that's my explanation. And they just wrote it off right in the trailer, right at the very start. I thought that was a fantastic marketing, advertising gimmick. I loved it, and I'm a sucker for the first movie. So that's going to be the big money maker. Aquaman is going to get wiped out. No pun intended. Wipe out!
Yeah, but the whole thing I thought it explained Mary Poppins is, her being able to do all that stuff is that the fact that, sorry for me saying this, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. A lot of people don't like Disney because they do this stuff. It's probably because she's a witch. Or I'm just reading too much into it.
You're reading too much into it.
So she's not a witch.
She's not a witch. No, she's a woman with magical powers. They really don't get into it in the movie. The book explains it. Of course, Disney, when they take a novel, they kind of dilute it. As it happens with old novels, when a studio gets all of it, they always dilute the movie. You don't never get the 100% of the book because books are really hard to translate.
Well, if you see that movie, a lot of that stuff that they put in the movie, Mary Poppins, didn't really happen in the book. Like, she doesn't do these sins about her dancing with penguins or anything like that.
No.
That's what upset her. She said, no, this is just a book about a woman who comes in and she's a nanny to these 2 children whose father basically ignores them because he's more in tune with, working and making money. And Disney comes around and he Disneys it up. And that's what upset her in this other movie what they played, where she goes, no, this is not what my book was about. You're just completely making it something it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the movie with, what's her name? Oops, I forgot. Tom Hanks.
Yes.
He played Walt Disney.
Yes.
Who was the lady?
Jesus.
In real life, of her experiences, because
she's English.
Colin Farrell played the father in the flashbacks. He was really good in that. But anyway, going back to of course, gonna get Disney-fied. You got to put the songs in. You got to put the dancing penguins animated.
Animated dancing penguins.
Come on, they're cute and adorable. Who wants to read
birds?
The birds, but who wants to read a book? Is like, oh, the kids are all depressed because they come from a broken home. That's not Disney material. Okay.
Well, they don't come from a broken home. I guess their father just doesn't pay attention to them, and neither does their mother. That they have to hire a nanny, which is ridiculous when the mother didn't really do anything.
Disney did the right thing and made it into a fun musical for the family, and I think that the new Mary Poppins is going to kill Aquaman. They were smart. Let me tell you, people were freaking out with the James Cameron produced Battle Angel. The girl had those big eyes. It was freaking people out.
Yes.
And they bumped that into like springtime somewhere.
Wow. It didn't come out yet? I thought it came out.
Nope. They bumped it.
I just ignored it, and it came out, and I just didn't go see it.
No, it was supposed to open up for Christmas. They got that out of the way. Paramount has pulled the plug on a major advertising of Bumblebee, believe it or not.
Why?
There's the previews, and people are not interested in off-solo projects. That's why Aquaman, it'll be the same thing. These standalone projects, just before the show, you complain about a Black Widow. That nobody's asking for that.
Yeah, nobody's asking for standalone movies. Like, certain standalone. We were talking about the Joker. The reason why I said the Black Widow, this is coming from a fan. I enjoy these movies. I'm a fan. So if you don't listen to me, you just don't listen. This is why we were speaking about the fact that I think that it's going to not do well at all, because Scarlett Johansson doesn't want to dye her hair. She doesn't want to be a redhead. She doesn't want to do the accent. She doesn't want to do the stunts. So, why
bother doing the movie?
What are you doing then? I mean,
at the making of, there's a very interesting part, Bohemian Rhapsody, when they show you the making of Bohemian Rhapsody itself, the song itself, and Roger Taylor always did the high notes in all the choruses. So whatever Queen song you listen to, you hear a high note. That's not Freddie. That's Roger Taylor. And then hearing him go Galileo, Galileo, that's a high pitched voice he's got.
Damn.
And that's why they came up with that kind of operatic sound. Excuse me. This is the making of the Night at the Opera.
I could just imagine one day they'll do a Queen's Opera.
I wouldn't be surprised if this goes on Broadway. There's a
Yeah.
big. They got the
They can
goggles,
clean
head
it.
over heels.
They can clean it. You know, if Mamma Mia did pretty well out of the songs of ABBA, imagine Queen's.
Okay, talking about musicals, I didn't. I'll get more into Star Wars Born because that's not doing good overseas. I like the picture with Lady Gaga, but the problem with this movie is that it was based on country. Country does not do very good overseas. And actually, it didn't do good this past week. Country Music Awards. It's got the lowest rating ever. Nobody's watching because somebody was asking me, "Are you going to go? If you're going to be on January, February, are you going to start recapping about the Oscars?" Let me tell you, the last Oscar presentation was a total wipeout. People are just sick and tired about awards.
Yeah, because they become more and more of nothing else than an insider's award show giving themselves awards, and no one cares.
Well, also, it's the same presenters. Every time you said, "Oh, the People's Choice Awards, the Billboard Awards, the
lie.
Grammy Awards,"
It's a lie.
with special guests,
It's all insiders.
Taylor Swift. And you're going, oh, let me be surprised. She's going to win Artist of the Year again. And once you have the same presenters and the same artists winning the same awards, it becomes, bleh,
Yeah,
it
it's
becomes
sort of like
boring.
That's why what do you call that? The MTV Awards was something amazing because people didn't expect it. But then all of a sudden it started falling in line and it became the same thing as everything else. Oh, we only have 30 seconds now.
Okay, anyway, this is about the making of Night at the Opera. When the movie comes on Blu-ray, we'll talk about it more. We're going to be back in 2 weeks. And this is something available at the library for you Star Trek fans. Chaos on the Bridge, produced, directed, and written by William Chen about the making of The Next Generation. I'm Frankie B.
And I'm Mark.
And we'll see you in 2
weeks?
You
All
got
right,
it.
thanks for showing.
Thanks, everybody.
Adios. And we're done.
We're off the air. Good. All right, man. We got a lot through there. Okay, saved. I didn't get a chance to give a shout out to John about the Joker film. Okay. Chris Pratt is going to do The Saint. I didn't mention that. We didn't mention Jack Reacher to Netflix. Okay.